few switches to switch. Thank you so much to all the poets for coping with all my clobber during the evening. I've got to have my speakers up and so on. They're both called Jeremy, by the way. That's Clarkson on the right and Corbyn on the left.
Whoa!
I made no secret of the fact that my idols in terms of comedy songwriting are Flanders and Swan. And they are famous for their series of animal songs. So I've written an animal song of my own, by way of tribute. Now this is slightly risky, because I've never performed this song in public before. So here's a hat to distract you from all the mistakes I'm just about to make. And ladies and gentlemen, the first public performance of The Zebra. When I was a young boy, I had an LP that I frequently liked to put on. The groove traced the sounds of the bestiary of those genii, Flanders and Swan. They sang about fauna exotic, the ostrich, the elephant too, a hippopotamus quixotic, a warthog, a boar, a gnu. But enter a zebra with binary stripes. His long face exudes a mood grim. He swishes his tail as he grumbles and gripes. Why is there no song about him? He kicks up some dust in frustration. His anger is making him teary. Bemoaning his victimization, he poses the following theory. Is it because I'm half black? Do my stripes form the judgment you've taken? Or is it my bray that has caused this attack with its lyrical hint of Jamaican? Perhaps in the 50s and 60s, stripism wasn't so wrong, but I think I'm long due a fix, please. Just write me my own little song. Touched by his story, I reached for a pen and asked what the verse should contain. He took a deep breath, closed his eyelids, and then felt a swell run the length of his mane. Those zebra have such a proud history, a species of great global fame. Some doubt our individuality and tell us we all look the same. Injustices stalk him from pillar to post. He claims that policing's a farce. Me and my brethren get searched more than most. So what if our hooves contain traces of grass? Skint zebra actors die at a young age. There aren't enough paid roles to take up. So I get irate when I see on the stage our parts played by horses in makeup. I listened intently as he moaned at length of the trials of having a patent coat. At first I admired his stalwart strength, but a thought bothered me as I wrote. So why, I inquired, do cheetah and giraffe all seem quite satisfied with their lots? Those cretinous beasts, he cried, don't make me laugh. We zebra can't stand creatures covered in spots. Now you may have thought I was wearing that hat to give the piece a quasi-safari feel, but nothing could be further from the truth. I was in fact wearing the hat for this reason. There comes a poignant moment in the life of many men when nothing seems that it will ever be the same again. You suddenly realize your scalp is feeling rather bare. A demonstrable decrease in the thickness of your hair. Teenagers start to tease ya. No more do ladies seize ya. because you're lumbered with androgenetic alopecia, or male patterned baldness, to give its common name. It doesn't matter when it starts, the outcome is the same. But one thought makes me happy, one thought keeps me strong, one eternal certainty helps life just trot along. I'm not as bald as Prince William. His fringe is higher than mine. I've got more hair than the heir to the throne, the Windsor who's second in line. Prince Charles has a similar problem, since baldness is hereditary. So George is doomed too. But I put it to you, ain't it strange that it don't affect Harry? You will all be familiar with the ridiculous world of collective nouns that we have in our country. For example, if you were to see a bunch of lions walk down the high street, you couldn't turn to your friend and say, "I say, there's a bunch of lions walking down the high street," because he's bound to correct you and say, "I think, dear chap, it's a pride of lions. They've got those rainbow flags and everything." Because when I was young, I thought a pride was the collective term for a group of baby horses. My parents were always telling me that pride comes before a foal. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have been doing some research in the University Library of Wikipedia to try and discern where these collective terms came from. And they actually came from an anonymous gentleman in St Albans who lived in the 15th century. Now, rather than just print off the article and read it out like some sort of homework, I've decided to turn it into a song. Will Shakespeare, Charlie Dickens and their kind are all among the individuals who've combined to shape the English tongue. Their lexical invention stored forever in their books. Though there is one contributor we always seem to overlook, an artist whose creative oeuvre avoids all cliches worn, a poet who with style and verve came up with all those comedy collective terms for fauna. St Albans 1486 we might safely suppose is justifiably transfixed by all those wars of roses. The writers of the script have planned an epic final show. King Richard in a crypt, well, Leicestershire County Council car park, but never mind, it doesn't rhyme. The rolling credits good to go. So Henry marries Beth, Lancasters, Yorks becoming spouses, in sickness and in health, to end the plague on both their houses. But our hero cannot give a hoot. He just can't stand celebrities. His interest in things he can shoot trumps all their trivial levities. He rides around the world from west to east and up and down, assigning to each group of beasts he sees a quite preposterous noun. A gaggle of geese, a swarm of bees, a parliament of owls, a kettle of hawks, a phalanx of storks, a rasp of guinea fowl. English is too simple, people master it in days, so let's make things more challenging by pairing words in silly ways. The list so long that learning it comes down to perseverance. Sometimes the terms are chosen due to physical appearance. Pheasants come in bouquets, peacocks in an ostentation. Zebras crowd in dazzles, in defence against predation. A tower of giraffes sounds fine, but hippos in a bloat, it almost seems we're mocking their ability to float. A rookery of seals, I would suggest, is utter twaddle. A plump of ducks makes much more sense due to the way they waddle. A gaggle of geese, a swarm of bees, a parliament of owls, a kettle of hawks, a phalanx of storks, a rasp of guinea fowl. English is too simple, people master it in days, so let's make things more challenging by pairing words in silly ways. The lions of the plains are pigeonholed as being proud. Other groups of animals are named for noises loud. A pandemonium of parrots, cackles of hyena, a crash of black rhinoceros, like elephants but meaner. Crows come in a murder and buzzards in a wake. A school of fish swims past a siege of heron in a lake. A piteousness of doves, the melancholiest birds by far, while snails of middle class unite in their escargatoire. A gaggle of geese, a swarm of bees, a parliament of owls, a kettle of hawks, a balance of storks, a rasp of guinea fowl. English is too simple, people master it in days, so let's make things more challenging by pairing words in silly ways. Exploring this vocabulary, a thought occurred to me. How strange that only wildlife has this terminology. Why should we stop at animals? Let's roll out the idea and come up with collective nouns for groups of people sharing a career. A complex of psychiatrists. A fraud of politicians. A dirty cheat of footballers.
Yay.
An ego of musicians. A nerd of astrophysicists. A colouring pen of geographers. A placebo of homeopathists. A voyeur of photographers. An expose of journalists, a register of teachers, a whiff of refuse operatives, a homily of preachers, a boredom of accountants, a wall of rugby flankers, a chauvinist of stockbrokers, a massive tool of bankers. The possibilities are limitless, as you can see. So set your tongue to prejudice and let your brain roam free. I'm the evening's second hat now. This hat I picked up on my travels to Siberia just last year, so I'm going to wear it to sing a pop song in the Russian style. Comrades, a song for to celebrate many excellent adventures and noble doings of the esteemed President Vladimir Putin. Hi, 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 look at all his macho pictures. Answer to cruel Western strictures. Vladimir Putin, right on a horse, has a torso as strong as a bear. But with no hair, Vladimir Putin swims in a lake that would make any other man freeze. And does it with ease, all the Russian people. They shout and cheer his name. But European Union, why don't they do the same? Vladimir Putin, humble, he hates appellations like leader of state or Russia's dictator, liberal country. People can choose their own views and decide what to say, unless they're gay or Russian people. They shout and cheer his name, but European Union, why don't they do the same? Hi, he's a modern human being. Expert at martial arts and skiing. Orders a purchase, million Kalashnikovs with federal cash because he adores the Crimea, shoots down an airplane out of the skies but denies he shall take any blame. At fault was Ukraine, all the Russian people. They shout and cheer his name. But European Union, why don't they do the same? Hey! Hey!
Yeah!
Here is a song about the unhappy marriage of social media and food. I call it social feedia. Those poor old nerds at Facebook are always occupied, tinkering with privacy settings and the like. They're never satisfied, and every minute alteration feels contempt from each web-based nation. Hands off our profiles or we'll strike. Unlike. But here's a new idea. Those guys can thank me later. A spark of genius, rare blue sky thinking, don't come greater. A fresh campaign designed to be a universal winner. Ban the tedious practice of uploading photos of your dinner. Keep your food off Facebook. I don't wish to witness your menu. I must insist, if you persist, I'll simply just unfriend you. Take your food off Facebook. You're making my abdomen rumble. I'm stuck here at work with a cereal bar and 8 megabytes of your plum crumble. Status update. My 4-year-old is rather clever. Here's some toast she spread with Nutella. Isn't she just the next Nigella? LMAO smiley face. Banish food from Facebook. I don't give a fig what you eat. It's not as if I flash my lunchbox at each last passerby on the street. Stop online gastronomy. It will not be missed when it's gone. I've seen quite enough photos of flowery cups, adjacent some jam and a scone. Scone. Status updates. Here's an enormous Belgian waffle covered in syrup. Just watch me scoffle. 2,000 calories. ... Ruffle. Semicolon capital D. Ban cuisine from Facebook. Burgers, chips, ketchup, coleslaw. Here's my pub lunch and a bottle of wine. Om nom nom nom. What a bore. Get your grub off my newsfeed. It isn't the time or the place. The last thing I want while I'm surfing the web are hors d'oeuvres thrust in my face. So, next time you're in a cafe with the adequate food you've just got, keep your iPhone stashed away and eat it while it's hot. I'm going to slow things down now for the final song. Excluding encore. This is a song all about love. Love in the 21st century. I call it Love in the 21st century. This is a true story. This genuinely happened. It's not autobiographical, however. How dare you even suggest it? This happened to a very close friend of mine. I thought I had a lonely fate. I'm used to quiet solitude, content that each attempted date was scuppered by ineptitude. But now I've found my true love. No longer am I alone. She fits just like a new glove, and all I had to do was get a phone. I had a look on Match.com, but soon was filled with doubt. I don't get on with girls whose main interest is going out. My profile on my single friend just couldn't have been kinder. But here as well, I had no luck, nor Tinder, Zoosk, nor Grindr. I was on the verge of giving up, my patience near exhausted, my online quest for happiness mere moments from aborted. But each iPhone has a thumb-sized button sitting at its base. I pressed and held it, lifting up the handset to my face and asked, which is the best website for one last dating try? But I got no Your smooth tone and received pronunciation are delectable. Oh Siri, you're pre-programmed to be my friend. In fair weather or foul, you're with me to the bitter end. And when our conversations seem to reach a shallow ebb, you keep me on my toes with useless searches of the web. Oh Siri, my loyal partner in my pocket, your reassuring cliches help my self-esteem to rocket. I used to miss the mutual satisfaction of a mate, but now I just ask you to switch your setting to vibrate. Oh Siri, Siri, I want you to marry me. You'll live with me happily. Oh Siri, Siri. I thought it only appropriate, as his poetry is moving on from the Barder's art, to end with a meditation on travel. This is a very short number, very quiet number. I call it the Hymn to St. Christopher. When I was just a small thing, but 5'3" at least, I heard the heavens calling and decided to become a priest. But my wonderful selection of 5 parishes despair, as I've no sense of direction, so at Mass I'm never there. I prayed at length to Christopher, the patron saint of travellers, and soon was handed this offer, my problem to unravel, as if he just heard the Lord's advice. A faithful friend and acolyte sold me a portable device that navigates by satellite. And now I know exactly where I'm going, but how I'm getting there I have no way of knowing. Mystery beyond compare. I enter into my appliance, the place I need to be, and I put my faith in science that it can deliver me.